What are we talking about? Yeah, you guys are here. If you're here, then I'm here. It is Monday, the what is it? Monday the 17th. Today is Monday, October 17th, 2022, and we are here on Make It Happen Monday. Now there are some teams that are making it happen in the NFL, and there are teams that are not. Now it is only the end of the sixth week. And so many teams have played 6 games. There are teams that had a bye last week. Thankfully for the Lions, they had a bye, and we didn't have to watch them get skinned again. But as we look at it, there are teams that are happening, and there are teams that are not happening. Now, teams that are happening. Let's start off with the New England Patriots. Yes, there are a lot of happy people in the New England area. Why? Because the Patriots are making it happen. First and foremost, they are doing it with a third-string quarterback. Now, lest anybody think this is easy, it's not. Because the Dolphins have a third-string quarterback, and they are just, well, he got knocked out the game. Let's just continue on with the Patriots. The Patriots with Bailey Zappi beat up on who did they beat up on yesterday? They beat up on the Cleveland Browns, 38-15. Now, what we have to remember is that the Browns, though they are not a powerhouse, they are indicative, or they are just like most of the NFL, average to good, good to average, which means getting beat up 38-15 still sends a message to the rest of the NFL, because the Patriots beat up on the Lions last week 29-0. So they beat up two teams convincingly. And even though we think, okay, it's the NFL and these teams, the Lions are actually the worst team. They haven't won a game yet. Did they win a game? I think well, let's not even go talk about the Lions. That's just too depressing right now. Let's just talk about the Patriots. The Patriots are now 3-3, I believe. And where they're at in the East, they're right behind Buffalo and the Jets. The Jets are surprising. So we have to take a look at the Patriots going forward with a third-string quarterback looking pretty darn good. Another team making it happen that I mentioned is the New York Jets. The New York Jets beat the Green Bay Packers yesterday, 27-10 in Green Bay. The Jets are doing it with two running backs, Bryce Hall and Michael Carter. These guys are just making it happen when they get the ball. They're hard to tackle, and they have a lot of speed. And that Carter guy, he's a fast guy. They're doing it with a very hungry and rugged defense. The defense, they chased, they hounded, and they pounded Aaron Rodgers all day yesterday. He didn't have a chance to breathe when he had the ball, and they made it happen. Now, the Jets, everyone knows, have been perennial losers for the last how many years? Well, as long as anybody can remember. Not since Rex Ryan have they had a good team, and that's back. We can't even remember how far back that was. But hey, Rex, how you doing? You did a good job with the Jets, and they haven't been in contention since then. Now the Jets have risen out of the ashes like a phoenix, and they're in second place in the AFC East. Another team making it happen is the New York Giants. Now New York has the Yankees in the playoffs in baseball. They have the Giants and the Jets kicking butt in football. New York should be a happy place to be. We'll just leave it at that. But if you're a sports fan, New York is a happy place to be because New York is just showing out. The Giants beat up on the vaunted Baltimore Ravens yesterday with Lamar Jackson at the helm of the Ravens. Now, Lamar's been throwing and running for touchdowns and throwing and running for yardage and just making a mockery of the NFL. With his arm and his legs, he's been having a pretty good year. They were at 3-2, looking to go to 4-2, and they ran into the Giants. The Giants are now 5-1, 5-1, and they would be in first place if it wasn't for another team that's making it happen, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles went into Dallas. No, they went into Texas and beat the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, right in their own stadium. The Eagles are now undefeated, still undefeated, and at 6-0. Who saw that coming? Now, I thought the Eagles may be a good team. I thought they possibly could be a good team, but nobody saw this coming. 6-0 on top of the NFC East, which is usually a mediocre division at best. They've had the Eagles, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Washington Commanders. It used to be the Washington whatever football team. Those are the 4 teams in that division. And they have been lackluster for the past 5 to 10 years at best. Now, 2 of the better teams in the NFL, the Giants and the Eagles, and let's just include the Cowboys, the 3 of the better teams, are now in the NFC East. And the Eagles lead that pack. Then we have the Atlanta Falcons. We go from the Eagles, one bird team to another one. The Atlanta Falcons have really surprised practically everybody. Nobody saw this coming with Marcus Mariota. Everyone thought of him as a retread. He was once a first-round draft pick of Tennessee. Didn't make it there. Was too young and too inexperienced. He suffered some injuries, and then he disappeared off the scene. He was a backup for another team, and all of a sudden, Atlanta grabs him up and decides to make him a starter, moving Matt Ryan to the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I had talked to friends and relatives down in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and they were applauding this move. I thought it was a foolhardy move that they were going to miss Matt Ryan. Wrong. They're not missing Matt Ryan at all. Now, Atlanta Falcons, they beat up on the San Francisco 49ers 28-14 yesterday. And they are at 3-3. But they could very well be at 4-2 if it wasn't for a bad call that they received last week. There was a plethora of bad calls, and this was one of the worst ones. It was a bad roughing the passer call, and they were on the short end of it, and they couldn't come back from that, and they ended up losing. But had they win that game, they would be at 4-2 and on top of the division. Now, I want to say Atlanta's defense. You got to watch out for those guys. Finally, we have the Minnesota Vikings as the teams that are making it happen. The Minnesota Vikings went in and stomped the Miami Dolphins to a tune of 24-16. The Vikings are now sole possession of first place in the NFC Central. No one saw that coming. Usually it's the Green Bay Packers, maybe the Chicago Bears. The Minnesota Vikings are just somebody that have in the division, a lot like the Bears are now, the Lions. Now they're looking like they rule the roost. So for the people in Minnesota, you got a lot to look forward to because the Vikings look like they're for real. Now, we go from the teams that are making it happen to the teams that are not making it happen. That would be the Dolphins. Yes, I know I mentioned the Dolphins in conjunction with the Minnesota Vikings, and let's just, as we're going to segue into that, let's just use that. The Dolphins came in full of piss and vinegar. They had 2 tags, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and a host of other things going from. The defense was looking like gangbusters, and they just jumped out on people, and they were making it happen the first 3 games. And 2 attacks got knocked out. Teddy Bridgewater came in and got knocked out. Then they brought another guy in, the third-string guy. Skylar Thompson came in, and he got knocked out yesterday. Now, it looks like the Miami Dolphins might be knocked out of contention. They got beat yesterday by the Vikings, as we talked about, and they are one of the teams that are not making it happen anymore. I feel sorry for the Dolphins. You had a great season ahead of you if your quarterbacks could have stayed healthy. After a promising start, the Jacksonville Jaguars have fallen back to earth. They lost to the Indianapolis Colts 34-26. Now, no one really expected a lot out of the Jaguars, but when they jumped out of the gate, winning the first 2 out of the 3, and they looked like they were a whole different team. They looked like they were ready to take a step forward. Wrong. They're not ready to take a step forward. Actually, they have taken a step forward just by winning a couple of games, which is more than what they could do for the past 3 years. But one of the main teams that are getting thrown to the spotlight right here on the Amazing Grace Sports Network is Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, under the new head coach, Todd Bowles, are looking pretty dismal. They were lucky to get a win against Atlanta last week. And they're kicking a lot of field goals and not making a lot of touchdowns. Now, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went into Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they lost. Tom Brady lost to, and Tampa Bay lost to Pittsburgh 20-18. Now, the game was really, okay, it can say close, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers never had the lead. They were always behind and trying to come back. Pittsburgh, they had Kenny Pickett, but we all know that they started Mitch Trubisky at the beginning of the season. And then their head coach, Mike Tomlin, sat him down for a rookie. That's got to be humiliating. Sat him down for a rookie, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett lost the game that he started, and then he got knocked out of this game. So Mitch Trubisky came back in and decimated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Decimated, just picked them apart. Did whatever he wanted, kept the game close, kept it nice and tight, ran the ball, didn't make any mistakes, and they won with Mitch Trubisky over Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the vaunted defense. Tampa Bay's receivers can't get any separation. They're old, and the ones that are coming back have been injured. Their run game has been trash. Their defense looks overrated as usual, making the usual mistakes of jumping off sides and penalties at the wrong time. Things do not look good for Tampa Bay right now. They're going in the wrong direction. They are not making it happen. Another team not making it happen is the New Orleans Saints. Now, New Orleans Saints has been up and down, up and down. They started Jameis Winston. Then they started Andy Dalton because Jameis Winston got hurt. Throwing in Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill has been giving them the spark. But then they go ahead and they lose. They lost to the Bengals in New Orleans, 30-26. They had a chance to make this happen. Their defense is usually a mainstay of their team, and they weren't able to make it happen. New Orleans does not look like they're going any place anytime soon. The Carolina Panthers, after firing their head coach Matt Rule, were choked out by the Los Angeles Rams 24-10. Now, this season is over. They can start playing for the league's worst record with the only competition right now being the Detroit Lions. But right now, this season is over. And anybody who's got season tickets there, well, the weather's good in Carolina, so you might as well go. But there is no chance of you even making the playoffs. So they're a team that's not making it happen. The preseason highly rated Arizona Cardinals, they are another team that is not making it happen. They lost yesterday. Now, the Cardinals lost to the Seattle Seahawks, 19-9. And they look as if they don't have a clue of winning. Now, this is after they gave Kyler Murray the highest contract in the NFL, and bada boom, bada bang, they're going downhill. So they're not making it happen. The Los Angeles Rams, okay, they are there in the mix, but they're really not making it happen. They had a chance. Actually, they won yesterday, but they didn't look good doing it. So there we have teams that are making it happen and teams that are not making it happen. High on my list, of course, are the Patriots, the Jets, and the Giants. And high on my list of not making it is Tampa Bay, Jacksonville. Should I say the Lions? I mean, I love the Lions, but they can never get it done. Now, what does this all mean to you? Well, hopefully you didn't bet on the teams that are not making it happen, because you're not moving in with me. So stop betting if you're losing on these teams. It means the NFL landscape is changing. Teams that were once at the top, like Tampa Bay and Green Bay, which is another team that is not making it happen, are looking like the future is less than bright. Well, that's the way things go. Anything can happen in the NFL, and anything usually does. Oh, I forgot. The marquee game of yesterday, and this needs to be talked about. The marquee game of yesterday was the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Buffalo Bills are making it happen. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not too sure of that score, but they beat them pretty convincingly. Not convincingly, but they were in charge. And their defense got after Pat Mahomes, had a couple of interceptions, and they made it happen. Kansas City, they're going to be right there at the end, but they better hope they don't. At the end, they're not playing the Buffalo Bills, because the Buffalo Bills have their number. That's something that Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes are going to have to consider as they go forward. So my top tier teams in NFL right now, the Buffalo Bills, of course, are at the top. The Philadelphia Eagles, number 2. Now, you would say Philadelphia's undefeated. Yes. But do they look like the Buffalo Bills? No. Jalen Hurts is very, very good. Let's get that out there. Philadelphia, you guys got a gem in Jalen Hurts. But right now, Josh Allen is ruling the roost. He and Pat Mahomes. So, Buffalo's on top. Philadelphia is second. Kansas City's third. And get this. The New York Giants are fourth. Yes, sirree, Bob. The more things change, the more they say the same. Not really, because the Giants have not been anywhere close to the top in a very long time. Then I have to throw the Jets in there. I can't include the Baltimore Ravens anymore. They are done. So, Dallas Cowboys, they're in there. But that's it. That's it for this week of teams that are making it happen versus teams that don't. Now, as you go forth on Make It Happen Monday, you make it happen. What do you want to do today? Whatever it is, make it happen. This is your day to make it happen. First day of the week for most of the people going back to work. First day of the week as far as business is concerned. So let's get out there and make it happen, everybody. This is our chance to get it done. With that, I say peace, love, happiness to all of you. Enjoy your day. All you happy fans in New York and New England, enjoy your day, because, gosh, New York fans, whether you're Jets or Giants or Yankees fans, you deserve it. Sorry about the Mets, but you deserve it. Going forth, Philadelphia, enjoy your day. All you Philadelphia fans, I know you're on a high. When your team wins, you're on the high. When your team loses, you're on a little bit of a low. That being said, let's get on with it. Let's make the day happen. Make it happen Monday. Get out there, get that job done. And be sure to love everyone in your family that you can. Spread the love, tell them you love them, and let them know that you will be there for them. Have a good day.